What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and we have a brand new event in Empires and Puzzles, the Slayers of Fell Shadows. Let's dive in and take a look at some of these legendary heroes. But first, join me over in Gemstone Legends. It's a fantastic match 3 RPG game, and it's players who get in early on games like this who are at the biggest advantage. Not only will you help the channel out by using the link in the description of this video, but if you use the code #lion_2021 you're gonna get a guaranteed free epic hero named Elidor, along with 5 more gold scrolls, that's more heroes, and a bunch of gold and gems. And after you download the game, you're going to have access to the beginner events, which is going to get you one more free epic hero named Soliana, and a bunch of free legendary equipment and a platinum scroll, which is again another free epic or legendary hero. Guys, wow. Just make sure to use that code within 3 hours of downloading the game and after completing the tutorial. And I will see you over in Gemstone Legends. Alright, so I want to state something up front about these particular event heroes, the legendary ones which we're going to cover today, which is that they're all slow heroes. And if you've watched my videos before and how I grade, I typically dock slow heroes because in this game, they tend to not get much use. By the time a slow hero goes off, the match is typically already decided. Too much has already happened for the slow hero to make an impact, and they often don't get to go off a second time. Now, we do have very fast wars and very fast tournaments, and that has changed things. When I started grading heroes, those didn't really exist. So I think at this point, there's about a 1/5 impact on the game when you consider very fast wars and tournaments. And so slow heroes, if they're good, I think can get a little bit of a boost with those particular wars and tournaments when we're considering that, but only about like 1/5. So what I'm saying is, like, if I were to typically grade a hero like a B- or something like that, then maybe it gets a B or a B+ if it's a good, very fast tournament or war hero. I hope that makes sense. You're going to see how I grade it. But I also want to point something else out as well. There's a problem with slow heroes in this game, in that if you make it good for regular use, that like 4/5 use, then it's usually overpowered in very fast wars and tournaments. If you make it good for very fast wars and tournaments, it's often not good enough for regular use, which is often why the score gets docked. So if it's going to be good for regular use, you're probably going to see it end up as an A, because to me, good for regular use as a slow hero means when it goes off, it better end the game. It's not going to get another shot. It's going to be so late in the match that it just better have that kind of impact. I feel like Empires and Puzzles has often had a problem where they weighted too much of the power of heroes towards fast heroes and very fast heroes. You can see this sometimes even like with average heroes, like the snipers of the average heroes are like not as powerful as the fast snipers, which doesn't make sense to me. It should be the other way around. The average snipers should be a lot more powerful, and they've done that to the slow heroes too. Don't ask me why. The slow heroes often are more weakly powered than some of the fast heroes that do something similar. Anyway, let's dive into these particular heroes and take a look and give them some grades. So first up, we have Cathal. Cathal is a 5-star blue hero barbarian class. We've got the Slayer family, which gives a bonus to 1, 2, or 3 heroes, 50, 75, or 100% chance to receive the following stacks. So the stack, max 10, the caster recovers 10% HP per turn, and stack max 10, the caster gets plus 5% mana generation. So what you're going to see with these particular slow heroes is they speed up as the match goes on. And as you have more of them. So basically what this is incentivizing is get a lot of these heroes and put them on the same team, and then they're not really going to be slow anymore. All right, you have, oh, we missed the passive here. Status ailment damage reduction. So damage caused by status ailments reduced by 50%. That's really good and underrated, by the way. The attack is 747. The defense is an absurd 803, and the HP is an absurd 1427. So this already, at least with some of the passives and base stats, is having the making of the kind of slow hero that tends to get a better grade because it's going to stick around and speed up and that kind of thing. Breaker Blade. again, mana speed slow. That's just gonna be the case with all of these. Deals 570% damage to the target. So this is a sniper. That's huge. That's a lot of damage. The attack has a 60% chance to bypass defensive buffs. This includes counterattacks. Stack +2, max 10. The caster gets plus 10% mana generation, and stack max 10. The caster recovers 10 HP each turn. So as you can see with its family bonus and after it goes off, these guys can gain HP and speed up quite a bit. Now, before you get all excited about these heroes speeding up, and I will say the family bonus is better than what's actually printed on the special here as far as speeding the heroes up, because with the family bonus, you get the bonus from the beginning. With the special bonus, you got to wait till the slow hero goes off the first time. Before you get all excited about it, when you see the special printed with the mana increase, the mana generation, that's not often going to matter, because the slow hero is still a slow hero until it goes off. And oftentimes, as I said before, by the time the slow hero goes off, the match is already over. Like, the fast and the very fast heroes have already done whatever they need to do, maybe even a couple of times. So that's kind of a bummer. Where I see you benefiting from all of these heroes is by having a couple of them on the same team. And my gosh, how hard is it to get multiple legendary heroes in an event? So if you manage to get multiple legendary heroes from this event, you can go ahead and tack an extra like half grade on top of everything that I say today. But I'm going to assume most people can't get multiple heroes of these. Most can't. Some will. Most can't. So the family bonus is kind of not going to matter. I mean, if you get some of the 4 stars and you're in that tier 2 where you get 1 5-star and a couple 4 stars and you put them on the same team together, maybe it's going to work out. All right. But this is a super sniper in the very fast and fast, or the very fast wars and tournaments. This dude's an A. He's doing exactly what you want to do, which is just kill another hero. And he's getting faster in those wars too, which is really, really funny. But, you know, for the 4/5 use, you know, who's going to take a slow sniper? Even if he does speed up, you have to have the multiple heroes. So, I mean, he's going to be a C in regular use. And what that comes out to is a B. Cathal gets a B, in my opinion, because you're going to see him used a lot in the very fast wars and tournaments, as I think you will with most of these heroes here. But that's kind of specialized. You know, I feel like I'm stretching a little bit even with the B, because it is a little niche to only be able to really use heroes in very fast wars and tournaments. However, as we've seen with a hero like Alfreak, who's very slow, by the way, in the very fast and tournaments and wars, she's a powerhouse, right? And so that's how I end up with a B on Cathal, because Cathal doesn't approach Alfreak yet. I wonder if any of these heroes will. Let's take a look at Senan, who is a 5-star purple sorcerer, of course, getting the Slayer family bonus. The passive is damage caused by status ailments reduced by 50%. The attack is actually just okay at 731 in this day and age. Back in the day, it would have been good. 813 defense is great, and HP of 1421 is great. Curse of the Spectre is the special, deals 275% damage to all enemies. That's a good amount of damage to all enemies in these very fast wars and tournaments. Summons a Spectre Fiend for all enemies. The Fiend damages the enemy with 45% attack every turn. The Spectre Fiend absorbs healing and disappears when it has absorbed health equal to 30% of its target's max health. Stack. We get a plus 5% mana generation. And the second stack is the caster recovers 20 HP each turn. Again, in fact, I think this hero is even better in the very fast wars and tournaments, because this has all the makings of just doing everything to kill the opponent, not let them heal up, not let them recover, not let them have time to do what they need to do, and at the same time protecting himself and speeding up too. Oh man, it's so tempted to just even say A+ for very fast wars and tournaments. But again, in regular use, he's not going to be quite as good. However, I think that this particular special, as far as slow heroes go, is going to be more useful than some of the other slow heroes that we're looking at in regular use. So you can still put this guy, especially, oh my gosh, like he'll be a pretty good tank. So you can put him at the tank position and he can go off even in like regular terms. So he's going to have more use. He's not as niche. And so for that reason, I'm going to land at, well, I'll say a B for regular use. If he's like almost an A plus in very fast wars and tournaments, then I'm going to give him an A minus because this is a really powerful special. It's going to be one of those that just, he's kind of a one-man team for a little bit, and then the other heroes help to finish off whatever heroes are left. Now we got Caitlyn, who is a 5-star holy hero of the wizard class. We got the family bonus, and we got the passive here, which is the same as the others. The attack is 721, again, mediocre for this day and age. But the defense is even higher at 821. The HP is 1446. We have the special Dispelling Willpower, which dispels buffs from all enemies, deals 180% damage to all enemies. Not great, especially since the attack is a bit slower, or a bit lower. But then deals an additional 20% damage per remove status effect, up to 340% damage in total. That special could deal a lot of damage if the situation is right. So this is where I like niche heroes. This is a little bit niche because you got to have the situation set up. Now, fortunately, a lot of these situations that this hero is good show up a lot in this game. So it's not like super niche or anything. It's just a little bit more niche. You can't use it all the time. You have to make sure the situation is right. The stack, max 10. The caster gets plus 5% mana generation. And stack number 2 is the caster recovers 20 HP per turn. I would say that in very fast wars and tournaments, this hero is going to be relatively useful, especially because it's hitting all enemies, and you can easily find a situation where she's useful. Not a niche situation, just a somewhat niche situation. She's probably an A minus in the very fast wars and tournaments. In regular use, I see her being more like a C plus, and that's most of the time. So I'm going to land at a B for her. And that's because I think that she's going to end up being one that, especially when you pair her with other heroes in this particular family, you're going to find use from the dispelling. You're going to find use from increasing the damage when you need to. And she's one of those heroes. When I said slow heroes need to end the game, if the situation's set up right, 340% damage to all the heroes is quite a lot, right? So watch out for that, but make sure you're using her right. Next up, we have Saoirse. Saoirse? Saoirse? You tell me in the comments how to pronounce this, because I don't know. Fighter class. Red legendary hero here, also part of the Slayer family, of course, with that passive that we've seen on the other heroes. 737 attack, 809 defense, 1433 HP. The special is Fracturing Slash. Deals 315% damage to the target and nearby enemies. That's alright. It should be higher for a slow hero, but it's fine. The target and nearby enemies get negative 54% defense for 3 turns, and maybe that's why the 315 isn't higher, because that effect is fantastic. This is a great special to have in very fast wars and tournaments. The stack +2, caster gets plus 10% mana generation, and the caster recovers 10 HP each turn. So we keep seeing that show up, but they play with the numbers a little bit. All right, guys. In very fast wars and tournaments, this is another hero that's A, bordering on A+. In regular use, if you've watched my other videos before, you know that I think that a defense to buff, or defense down in other words, is the best type of effect in this game, because it just ends the game so fast. You set this guy off, you can set another hero off and basically just kill multiple heroes potentially. So this, even in regular use, is going to be a relatively good hero. But because it's slow, Like I said, it better end the game, which I don't think it does, you know, because it's not dealing to everybody. So one thing I've got to consider when I'm thinking about a grade for this one in regular use is that it's going to partially end things. To me, that ends up being like a B minus, right? If it just ends it, it's going to be an A. If it gets close, we're in the B range. I don't think that it's going to mostly end it, so we're kind of around that B minus range. Then for an overall grade, when you consider the very fast wars and tournaments along with regular use, we end up with, I think, an A minus. That's my opinion. Just because I give so much deference to that defense down. Such a good ability. You want that on any hero you have. The more you have of that, the better. And lastly, we have Rian, which is a 5-star blue hero, cleric class, Slayer family, that passive we've been talking about, that reduces status ailment damage. 725 attack, 817 defense, and 1439 HP. Cleansing Determination is the special. Cleanses status ailments from all allies, absolutely necessary in this game. Deals 180% damage to all enemies, so we don't often see a special that deals damage and cleanses status ailments. I have Guardian Kong, who's one of the only ones I know that does that. Deals an additional 20% damage per removed status effect, up to 340% damage in total. That's amazing. That's amazing. Stack. Max 10. The caster gets plus 5% mana generation, and stack 2. Caster recovers 20 HP each turn. All right. So as far as cleansers go, this is an aggressive cleanser. I really like this. And in the very fast wars and tournaments, again, we've got another A plus type of hero here. You definitely want this in those wars. You need this. This is going to help without Freak and Frigg and a number of other types of heroes. And not only that, but like if you're going up against a defense that has a bunch of status ailments, this guy is just going to wreck that team all by himself. If you've seen me use Lady Loki, who, you know, she kind of does something similar to this as well, where she's dealing damage and cleansing. So in addition to Guardian Kong, by the way, Lady Loki. And in fact, he probably resembles Lady Loki a little bit more. In that it makes the status ailments go away and just doesn't throw the status ailments back on them like Lady Loki does, but just deals a ton of damage, straight up damage. I mean, it can just kill heroes right away rather than having to wait turns. So in very fast wars and tournaments, he might actually have an edge on Lady Loki, who is an A. That's an A hero. Now, for regular use, the problem is, of course, going to be slow. By the time he goes off, is it good enough, or is the game already over? When I think about this, there's so many different situations that can occur, and it kind of depends on if he's on defense or offense. I think this could be somewhat useful. Well, it's definitely useful in offense. I don't know about defense. I don't think that you're going to be able to time or pick how this works. If I were to face a hero like this on defense, then I would just not bring status effects, right? And just neutralize him. So for that reason, in regular use, he's just a tad more niche. But the special is very generalizable. It's definitely going to be used in very fast wars and tournaments. In regular play, it's going to be used on offense at times. It actually being slow doesn't hurt a tremendous amount, because you kind of want the opponent to unload its ailments on you and then you cleanse it. So the slow is okay, you know? I'm going to say it's a B for regular use, and I'm going to go A minus overall. And the reason it's A minus and not A overall is, again, because of what I said at the beginning, which is for slow heroes. Typically, the other heroes have gone off first before the slow hero gets to go off. And if someone's really actually afraid of Rian, they're going to take him out before he gets to go off. If Rian's on defense, which I said is probably not the greatest idea, but in very fast wars and tournaments, you might be able to do that. But on offense, when you're taking Rian, sometimes the defense is just going to be so overwhelming, and I'm talking about in regular play here, that even if he does live, a couple of your heroes could be dead before he even gets to go off, in which case then that dealing damage to all enemies and cleansing those status ailments isn't as impactful. Now, I'm talking about like the worst case scenario for him. So there's going to be a lot of scenarios where he does exactly what you need in a slow hero, which is he'll just end the game. I want you to imagine a situation in which you're attacking with him. You've gotten a couple of your other heroes to go off. They've maybe killed an opponent on the other side. They've done a lot of damage, that kind of thing. The other team has unloaded some status ailments on you. And now you use his special and just wipe their team. So yeah, he's going to have use on offense, specifically in regular use, and absolutely all the time in very fast wars and tournaments. So this is an interesting set of heroes. What do you think about them? Let me know in the comments. I'm also interested to know what your grading is like. I tend to do a very traditional grading of A through F. The more niche the hero is, the more I give them closer to C's. The more generalizable the hero is, the closer I give them to A's, like when you can use them in more circumstances. And if a hero's not useful, well, they just get an F from me. But let me know what you think. I'm curious to know. The art this time around was not that great. You know, I've been complimenting the art a whole lot in this game, but I don't know if they took a break, went on vacation, cut the budget. But the art's okay. The art gets a C+ for me this time. All right, if you haven't already, please consider smashing that like button, hit the subscribe button along with the bell notification, and I will catch you in the next one.